Good morning. It's your girl KongoPrincess. Before I say anything else, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to all of my pages, KongoPrincess LLC. This morning, I am going to give it my all to stay on track because I have a very important topic that I would like to discuss with you. I would like to address mental health issues and how they affect our homes, our schools, our communities, and our world on a whole. This is a topic that people usually shy away from in the Black community, or so I've heard. But right now, with everything that's going on in the world, I don't think that race matters. I think this is a time to erase all the color lines and address the bigger issues. We are losing our children in our schools to senseless violence. As a mother, this is a very hard topic for me because some things hit home. And even if it's just a simple threat, it's still something that startles myself and other parents. So the school that my children attend recently did a run through on what they would do if something happened. And as the teacher was telling the children to prepare for the drill, one of the students laughed. And a friend of my daughter said, "Why are you laughing? It's not funny." And the little girl replied, "If there's a shooter in the school, I'll push you out the door in front of them." If this was an isolated incident, I would be pissed. I would be upset. But now, because of the history with this young lady, my spirit is vexed. And I'm angry, and I'm hurt, and I'm sad, and I'm confused because I don't know when our children became so angry. And this little girl has a history of not just saying things like this, but doing things as well. There's a time last year she told another little girl that she was going to cut all her hair off, and she actually got up with a pair of scissors and walked towards the girl to do it. And yes, she's still in the school after that incident. So there are a lot of things. I'm not going to waste time on talking about this child because she is just that, a child. My concerns and my issues are parents. When do we help our babies? When do we admit that our child needs help? When do we stop sugarcoating and sweeping things under the rug and address the issues? You know if your child is crying out if you're a parent. I'm not talking about somebody that just got a kid. If you're a parent that spends time with your child or just remembers little things about your children's character and the way they carry themselves, you can see a shift, you can see a change. When do we stop sugarcoating and get our children help? Of course, I've been to the school a million times. You guys who know me know I'm always in the schools. I'm always volunteering, whether it's a school that my kids attend or if it's a school that your children attend. You tell me volunteer, you say Mbele, come out, come help, whatever. If it can fit in my schedule and I got the means to make it, I'll be there. You know that. So I'm at the school and I'm talking to the principals and I'm saying, my children are safe, thank God. This little girl that the comment was made to, she's safe, thank God. Thank God all the babies safe, and it was just a drill. But is the little girl that made the comment safe? How long are we going to keep her in a learning institution that clearly is not good for her? She needs to be somewhere else getting more attention or more help with socialization skills. But deeper than that, at what point is her parent going to say, my baby is crying out? My baby needs help. Something is wrong with my child. And guess what? I'm not bashing that parent and I'm not bashing that baby because I personally know what it's like. I don't need my children to show me what it's like to go through things because I was a child. And I remember what I went through. And most of you were children at some point in life, and you should remember what you went through. You know what it's like to be bullied, or to have been bullied, or to have seen someone be bullied. You know what it's like to be in a fight, watch a fight, or start the fight or whatever. Like, none of this is foreign to any of us. But what do we do going forward? So I suggest, in my humble opinion, remember I tell you at the beginning of every video except for this one, I'm not a scholar. I am not I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not a physician, I'm not a psychiatrist, a psychologist. I'm just Mbele. I talk to you with life experience. This little girl needs more than to be institutionalized somewhere. She needs more than medication. She needs help. She needs emotional help. She needs emotional support. And she's not the only one. She needs love. She needs attention. She's not the only one. A lot of our children are crying out, and we're so busy racing from here and there with the ways of society. We have to be here. We have to do that. So you got to drop the kids off. You got to do that. The kids go do it. Everybody has a schedule. No one is scheduling in love. No one is scheduling in attention. No one is scheduling in, I'm about to whoop your, because you're getting beside yourself. Like, all of these things have left the family structure. So there, to me, there's no question what went wrong in the world. Well, that's simple. Women left home. Men became more elusive or gone. And our children have no one at home cooking breakfast, cooking dinner, packing lunches, tucking them in bed at night. Like, we've gotten away from the family structure, my opinion. So that's where a lot of this stuff is coming from. So a lot of times in my personal life, when I have these kind of conversations, people ask me, what do I suggest for parents that know their children are struggling emotionally or mentally? How do they help them get help from them or from outside sources? And I think it's very important for parents to, once you acknowledge that something is going on with your child, I think it's very important to, one, be the first person they turn to. Because parents are the first friends, first mentor, first leader, whatever. If it gets to a point where you have to get outside people to help, then I suggest the parent take their time, do your research, check out what therapy is, what a psychiatrist is, what a psychologist does. Like, you need to be versed in all these areas before you just drop your child off with anybody. The next thing I ask for parents, excuse me, please don't be quick to sedate your child. I am not a doctor of any sort. So if your child needs pharmaceutical attention, they need medicine, they need prescriptions, whatever, then you give them that. But before you be so quick to just put pills and poison in your baby's body, do the research. Understand what's really going on, because if it comes down to your child just depressed or sad or lonely, well, where did your mother just pass away? Did they miss their nana? You know, is your husband away at war? There's so many other factors, so many other things going on before you just want to give somebody a drug, give them drugs. And I'm not against the pharmaceutical industry. I'm not against anything. I'm just saying that before you put pills in your baby's bodies, be real enough with yourself to say, is this a medical, is this a chemical imbalance, or is this circumstantial? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm so sorry. Okay, boom. So if it gets to a point where you realize it's just something that's circumstantial, then okay, they go to therapy. They have an outside outlet to get everything off their chest, because kids have the right to want to have something to say about their parents. Like, sometimes, like, you know, as a mom, if it's something going on with the dad, the kid might not want to talk to you. So they might need a therapist. But if it's something that you can say, like, we have family meetings in my house, and everybody's allowed to say whatever they want to say. And if someone gets mad or upset, they're allowed to express that. And then the other person is like a debate. And the other person is allowed to respond with their understanding or lack thereof. So for me, I feel like there's really, I don't leave that space open for them to be questioned about anything. Why? Because I was denied that as a child. So it's very important for me to never leave any child feeling as if their feelings are not important and what they're thinking means nothing. I will never leave any child on this planet feeling that way because I know what that's like. And it doesn't feel good. So again, when you say does a child need a psychiatrist, do they need to be restrained, do they need medication? No, maybe they just need a damn hug. Maybe they just need some love. Maybe they just need some attention. The other thing is we stifling our kids with these false notions that you have to be a basketball player, you have to be a football player, you have to be a cheerleader, like you have to do all these things. What if your kid just like the damn color? Invest in some crayons, some color books. Because you might be reading the next damn Picasso. You have no idea. When you stunt your children's creative growth, you stunt them. Period. And that can lead to a mental disorder and all kind of emotional fuckery because you didn't take the time to sit with them and get to know them as a person. I tell my babies all the time, I'm not raising children, I'm raising adults. Because per American law, you can leave home at the age of 18. I need to make sure that when you turn 18, you are ready to go. I need to make sure that when you turn 18, you have an idea of who you are and what you want to accomplish in life. And the only way I can help you know that about you is to communicate with you. See, that's another key that's missing, communication. We all got all these damn phones. The phones damn near walk and talk for us. When are we sitting down talking to our babies? When are we allowing our babies to express themselves and say how they genuinely feel? We got all these laws and rules and regulations of what you can and cannot do, but half of y'all was 13-year-old with a boyfriend. Sit down with your daughter and ask her who she like. Don't just assume she's fresh. Don't just assume she's being promiscuous or anything. Remember when you was 13 writing notes, Sophie, yes or no, do you like me, do you want to go with me, can you take me to... Remember those days. Because when we stop acting like we never had adolescence, we never were juvenile, we never were children, this is where the disconnect come in. There go more mental and emotional issues brewing for no reason. Because everybody want to act like they perfect and they never done no wrong. I'm not saying that we should tell our kids, I got suspended once a week. I smoke weed. I did it. I'm not saying all that. I'm saying when it comes, be honest. And if you got to have that conversation beforehand, then do that too. Don't wait until all heck breaks loose to say, oh my God, we got to save whoever. Let's take them. They're crazy. They need help. No, they need a hug. They need you to be a real human being. To my parents, if you were the bully, if you still are the bully, I'd like to take a second to talk to you. I get it that some people are just stronger or more competitive or more aggressive than others, but that doesn't give you a right to continuously go around and belittle people and disregard people's feelings. And sometimes that's a pattern or a habit that you learned as a child and no one corrected you. I'm gonna correct you today. If you've ever been a bully and now your child is being bullied or you're teaching your child to be a bully, you need to be checked because you are part of the problem in society. Now I'm gonna be more transparent than I've ever been and tell you that I used to get bullied. Therefore, in my house, bullying is not allowed. I don't need a sign from Congress to say this is a no bully zone. I spent plenty of days as a child crying. I hooky school hiding in my closet because I didn't want to go and face the mean words and being picked on and being teased at recess by things that I didn't even understand. See, when you grow up in a single parent household and your friends have both their parents there, there's dinner talk conversation. And children hear things. And because they're so innocent and they don't have those buffers on what to say, what not to say, what to repeat, what not to repeat, they go to school the next day and the first opportunity they get, they say, ha ha, you did it. That's two forms of bullying right there, whether you notice it or not. Because you could be sitting around talking about another family's living situation, religious views, political views, or whatever, and depending on your tone and what you're saying and who you're saying in front of, you just bully somebody. You don't even know it. Because when the little mouth go running out and repeat it, some stuff then got started. So for me, personally, bullying is not allowed. How do you help a child that's being bullied, or how do you identify a child that's being bullied? Well, I mean, it could be biased for me to say it, but just watch their behavior. Is there a shift? Are they as happy as they normally are? Are they smiling as much? Are they socializing as much? Are they eating the same things or the same way they used to? There's so many little things that you can just look at and know. If you see somebody sad, ask them what's wrong. Children need to know that they have places and people they can go to and be honest about their feelings. People need to know that if a child comes to you and tells you that something is going on that's hurtful to them, your first response cannot be shake it off. Because everybody can't just shake it off. Your first response can't be toughen up. Because everybody doesn't have a tough streak in them. So when y'all reading books saying that this is how you handle every situation, like your friend with the big mouth that always got advice to give, what have you experienced? What have you personally gone through while you screaming off some ignorant shit, yelling in people's faces, giving your opinions? What have you gone through? Because if you don't take the time to sit down and listen to a child and hear them, you're not helping them. So now we got all these people walking around, little babies, I'm saying people, we got all these people walking around with all this pent up energy and all this pent up negative feelings and all these bad vibes. They don't know, they don't have anybody to talk to. They can't trust anybody. And they got all this shit in their mind and their head feel like it's pulsating. And they got migraines, they're going crazy. And then guess what? Somebody that hit somebody in the face. Somebody that found their granddaddy gun and came to school and shot the person that was bullying them. Somebody that done more than egg their teacher car, they done flattened all their damn tires and put Snickers bars in their tank. All kind of crazy stuff. Somebody that ran across the room with scissors and cut somebody's hair off. All kind of stuff. Because we the adults are not taking time to hear our babies and recognize you need a hug, you need a pill. So this is a topic that we can talk about for hours. I just really wanted to express my personal views on this topic with you all. Ask you, if you have children, please leave the door open for them to come in and talk to you. If you don't have children, there are plenty of organizations that you can go and volunteer and help. You can help in the schools, support the staff, any kind of way. Please do not let our babies keep suffering. Please do not let our babies keep being murdered. Please do not let our babies continue to see us acting like we don't know how to behave. This is your girl, the Congo Princess. Please remember to like, follow, subscribe, and comment below. So it wouldn't be me if I didn't tell you something spiritual. Is there a difference between spiritual issues and mental issues? Of course there is. Not every person walking around here sad in the dumps has a mental issue. They could have spiritual issues where they're being deprived, they're not aligned with the universe, they're not connected with their inner chi, they're not doing something to appease their energies, be it their ancestors, their spirit guides, their guardian angels, whatever. If you have energies, if you have a spiritual path that you are not following as closely to the T as possible, this is a sure way to go batshit crazy. A lot of us spiritual beings have to wake up daily and meditate. A lot of us have to go to sleep with some kind of incense or candles burned, some type of personal ritual or ceremony that we have to do to keep ourselves in alignment with our divine destiny. If you are not honoring these things, if you're not listening to the voices in your head, because someone asked me one time, we were talking about mental health years ago, and they were trying to be funny with me and asked me if I was crazy and if I was bipolar or whatever, and they said, well, do you have voices? And I said, yes, I do. And they said, do you answer back? Yes, I do. Some of the best conversations I've had is with dead folks on the other side, relaying messages to me on how to help me be a better person, on how to help me help you to be a better person. So there's a fine line between someone being crazy and someone being spiritual. But if you notice, most true spiritual people always on the outside say, oh, they're crazy. They are. They're crazy for not following the norm. They're crazy for trusting themselves. They're crazy for sitting down with them and doing what their own head tells them to do. They're crazy for embracing life. They're crazy for loving to hug trees or to twirl 7 times in the sea. Like, whatever little crazy thing they're doing, you are right. They are crazy. But guess what? You're also happy. And they ain't worried about you and what you think. Because they found their inner peace. And nothing you do or say is going to make them sway or waver from what they're doing to be grounded. But it is very important that a spiritual person take their spiritual medicine. The same way you would tell a person that suffers from schizophrenia that they got to take whatever their pills is, a spiritual person needs a prescription, the right dosage, and they need to take it every day at the same time. And they need to be allowed that freedom and that space to do that.